bring people to a better realization that there's separation of powers and separation of responsibilities and relationships between federal, state, the people, and that whole thing is really gotten completely out of whack. And a big part of that is that 17th Amendment and the state's ability to impose those restrictions. If the lion's got no teeth, the lion's not real scary. And that's what we have now. There's a constitution there. What if the president decides he don't want to pay attention? He wants to go to war without asking Congress. Who's going to stop him? No one, because he's been doing it for, what, 40 years?
Yeah.
The executive branch has been doing it since World War II. They go bomb them. Yeah, go drop the bombs. Yeah. We'll call it a UN thing. You know, they've been acting like it's not there, which really takes us from, like I said earlier in the show, you go from having a republic to really having a democracy, which when we study history, we know that leads to an oligarchy. And we can go back to Rome, the Roman Republic, which is the best example that we have of this. They went from a republic to a democracy, and then they went to an oligarchy, and they wound up with the Caesars, so on and so forth. And the whole thing fell apart. So for the 300 and some odd years that the republic existed, it was great. But then they did exactly what we're doing now. Money rules. And then you got into entitlements, and the whole thing comes apart. We call it today, we call it a Ponzi scheme. I don't know what they called it back then. I don't know what Cicero would have called it. But today we call it a Ponzi scheme. I'm taking from from this person to give to that person. And you get to a point where you got to take more and more because you got to give more and more. Eventually, you run out of other people's money to give away.